Hey Right Riders, Keith Wheeler here, back with another video for you. And today we're going to be talking about 10 self-publishing myths. So if you're excited about that, give that thumbs up a smashy. And with that, let's get started. The first myth is that self-publishing is looked down on. Now, I'll be honest, back 10 years ago, self-publishing was looked down on, and people would say that a book, quote, looks self-published. But we've come so far in this industry in the last decade. It is extremely possible for everyday people like you and I to create a book, self-publish it, and it look just as good as a traditionally published book. But if you hear someone say that a book looks self-published, they mean it doesn't look like there's quality in it. It means that maybe the book cover, maybe the formatting of the interior. If it's a written book, maybe there's no editing done or not enough editing done. Those kind of things that a traditional publisher makes sure that they put first and foremost, those are the kind of things that if you slack on that when you're self-publishing, your buyers are going to notice. But if you plan on putting in the quality into your books, into your covers, into the interior, into the formatting, into your marketing and promotion, then your book is going to be just as good, if not better, than a traditionally published book. The next myth is that joining KDP Select is a fully exclusive program. And that's not true. If you sign your book up for KDP Select, all that means is that your ebook, the digital version of your book, cannot be on any other platform, including your own website, for the 90-day period that it's enrolled in. That's it. Your audiobook, your paperback, hardcovers, that can be anywhere. It's only the digital ebook that is exclusive with the KDP Select program. The next myth is that once you self-publish a book, you can never get a traditional deal. Well, that's just not the case. I can give you many examples of how that's not the case, but first and foremost, me. I've self-published hundreds of books. I've written and self-published dozens, and yet I got a traditional book deal. But if you want to look beyond me, something more famous, someone who made millions, look at someone like E.L. James, who wrote the 50 Shades of Grey series. That book was originally self-published, but it got picked up by a traditional publisher, and as we know, the rest is, as they say, history. Myth number 4 is that you can't get your books into stores because you've got the ISBN from KDP or from Lulu or whatever. That's not true. That myth is not true at all. The bottom line is first of all, I've got books in 20 or more stores throughout the country, even in cities and states I've never even been in. But beyond that, even the big names, they care less about the ISBN number. What they care more about is that your book is available at wholesale pricing, so they can actually, make money off of it too, and that they're returnable. Because places like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million and brick and mortar stores, they only have a limited amount of space. So they need to know that when they buy a book, if it doesn't sell in a certain amount of time, that they can return it and get a credit or get their money back to get more books to fill that spot. So again, it has less to do with how you publish your book and more with what you have available as far as wholesale pricing and having your books returnable, which you can do with places like Ingram Spark. Okay, myth number 5, and I actually was thinking about saving this for the end, but myth number 5 is that self-publishing is easy. I'm sure you've probably seen those commercials, the ads on YouTube or whatever, where people say that you can self-publish a book in 3 easy steps or whatever. The steps that come with publishing a book, they're very trackable and repeatable. So in that case, they're easy in the fact that it doesn't really take a lot of learning to learn what has to be done, like all the different steps. But the amount of time and effort that goes into each of those steps and the amount of quality that you put into it, that's where the difficult part comes in. I mean, if you just want to throw up a book and, fingers crossed it's going to sell, well then yeah, that's going to be super easy. But if you're in this to make money, if you're in this to make a business, it's going to take hard work, just like any other business. Now, I will tell you from having done this for 7 or 8 years that it's completely worth it. Every moment I spend on these books, that's why I still do it. I still do it because I enjoy it. I love learning something new. Every single book teaches me something, whether it's a book I write or it's, a no content, low content book, a puzzle book, it doesn't matter. I learn with every book that I put out there. And that's what makes this business so much more exciting and fun and rewarding. And yes, you can make a full-time living self-publishing books, but it's not easy. There is going to take work to make a good, consistent business. Now, piggybacking on that a bit with the next myth, it's that self-publishing, you can't make enough money to make a full-time income. And like I just said, you absolutely can. I mean, examples are, like I already said before, you've got E.L. James with the 50 Shades of Grey series. You've got Andy Weir. He wrote The Martian, which ended up becoming a movie. You got Robert Kiyosaki, who you may not be familiar with that name, but you've probably seen or heard of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, even Mark Twain was self-published. Oh, and if you want one more that really surprised me when I was doing a little research on this, The Joys of Cooking cookbooks, those were self-published originally as well. The next self-publishing myth is that it's too late to start self-publishing in 2023. Well, I'm going to flip the screen around and I'm going to show you how that is not the case. Well, here we are on Amazon.com. Now, normally I would be in incognito mode, but I'm not doing niche research, so I don't have to worry about removing bias or anything like that. I just want to show you that books still sell on Amazon in 2023. So we're going to go over here to bestsellers. I'm going to scroll down to the Kindle store. And again, you can scroll down to books if you want. And this is something you can do yourself. Just go on to Amazon, go to bestsellers, go on to the Kindle store or the books. And this is going to give you the top 100 paid or the top 100 free. But right now we're talking about making money, right? So we want to look at them paid. And you'll see things pop up. That's a DS Amazon Quick View Chrome extension that I have. It just makes things easier for me. But I'm going to go down here. These are the new releases. These are the books that have been released in the last 30 days. And so I want to show you that books that are currently being released are still selling. And so this one right here, this is August 1st. I'm recording this on July 22nd. So this is actually a pre-order. And so it's number 9 in all of Kindle store. And already has 3,200 reviews, and it hasn't even released yet. This one right here is July 18th is when it published, which means it published, like 4 days ago. And it's already number 2 in the Kindle store, and it's number 12 overall. And so we're going to go to the Amazon book sales calculator that I like to use. It's on the Kindlepreneur website. I've got a link to that in the description below. But anyway, the book type is ebook. You can also do it for paperback and hardback, but I'm just going to do ebook on the Amazon.com. And I just put in here what the rank is. So in this one, the rank was, I think, 12, right? And right there, overall, the overall rank is number 12. So number 12 book in ebooks on Amazon.com that sells 3,496 books per day. And it just launched 4 days ago. Okay. And let's see what the price is. Well, this one's selling for $15.99. So this is a collector's edition. Obviously, they already have a following. But yeah, I mean, obviously still sells, right? I mean, that's making a huge profit. But let's go down. Let's look at some of the ones that maybe aren't, in the top, 10 or 20. Let's see what this one is. And again, this is an overall. When you do your search, you're going to look at your own particular niche and drill down that far and see that there are books still selling. And that's all you have to do. If you're looking into a niche, go on Amazon, go into the Kindle store or the bookstore, depending on what type it is. Look at the niche that you're trying to get into. Here, I'll scroll up and show you. So like if you're doing ebooks, there we go. We'll click on ebooks and then maybe children's ebooks, business and money, whatever. And then within each of these, there's typically going to be subcategories. Yeah, see how there's subcategories in here? And you can just click on whatever one you're interested in. Let's say you're doing a book on nutrition. And again, we're in the new releases still. So these are books that have recently been published or are about to be published. And you can see, this one's selling for $9.66. Yeah, this one just launched about a month ago. It's still number 3 in this category. And it's ranked 39,790. And that sells 8 books a day. I mean, especially if that's just one of many books that you have, it still sells. It's still making sales every day. So again, that to answer the myth that you can't start self-publishing in 2023 is completely not true. You absolutely can still make money self-publishing in 2023. Self-publishing myth number 7 is that you have to spend a lot of money on book covers in order to see any significant sales. And the truth is that's partly true. It really depends on the niche that you're in. You know, you need to have a cover that can compete with the other covers that are out there in your niche. So if you're doing something like military science fiction, that is super competitive and those authors are spending a lot of money on their covers. And so you either have to get lucky and find a cover designer that creates covers that can compete at a reasonable price, or you may have to spend a little bit more. But in most cases, you can get a book cover that can compete with traditionally published and other self-published books out there for $100 or less. Again, unfortunately, that one I can't say it's 100% true or 100% false because it really depends on the niche that you're in. But there is always a way to find, just do your due diligence, ask around, ask other, authors or book publishers in your niche that you know, maybe in Facebook groups or whatever, and see who they recommend as book cover designers. But as a general rule, no, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good book cover done. All right, myth number 9 is one that I'm sure all of you have said at some point, and that is that you're too blank to self-publish a book or to write a book or whatever. And whether that's I'm too young to do it, I'm too old to do it, maybe I'm too short on time, I'm too short on funds. Whatever your reason, I hate to say it, it's more of a self-excuse. I've done plenty of videos where I've shown how you can, if you're writing books, how you can find these little 5 minutes of nooks and crannies where you can get something done. If you're creating no content, low content books, you can find 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there, maybe wake up 10 minutes earlier, go to bed 10 minutes later, whatever it takes. If it's anything in life, if it's something you really want, you'll find a way to do it. But I will tell you, I have helped people self-publish books. I've helped people in their 90s. I've helped people that are under 18 write or create and self-publish a book. So don't let any of those reasons stop you. It may take you longer to create the book and to get it published than it takes somebody else. It doesn't matter. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. All you have to do is compare yourself to the you from yesterday. So if you've done something to accomplish that goal of getting that book done and that one step closer to getting it published, that's all you have to compete with. So don't listen to anybody else who says you're too young or you're too old or you're too short on funds. I've seen people self-publish, and I've done it myself, self-publish books that sell for absolutely free. It takes a little bit more creativity, takes a little bit more time on your part, but it can absolutely be done. So again, don't let any of those naysayers or any of that self-doubt get to you. You absolutely can self-publish. Now, if you've liked those 9 tips so far and you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that bell notification so you get alerted every time I put out new videos just like this one. And again, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, it would mean the world to me if you did, because that lets YouTube know that this video should be shared with more people. And it really helps grow the channel. And with that, let's get to the number 10. And I'm going to be honest, this one, I'm going to try to keep my wits about me. The myth is that you can't sell books, you can't make money self-publishing and selling books on your own website. That's the goal. The end goal is to take out all these middlemen, right? Take out the Amazons and the all the other middlemen and sell it on your own website. A friend of the channel and a friend of mine, Walter Wyburn, he passed away a little less than a year ago. He was probably, in my experience, the most successful at selling books on his own website. He was really a great man, I'll be honest. I mean, he was so smart. He sold ebooks, right? Just the PDFs, Word documents, whatever, on his own website. He didn't even publish through KDP. He did it all again through his own website. He had fans that would just come back repeatedly every single month and get the newest books. And he actually had these specials that he would run where every month, because he had a deeper backlog, every month he would offer, if you made a purchase, or maybe you purchased 2 books, you'd get this ebook for free. And it was a different ebook every single month. And he wrote short stories, so they weren't big epic novels. But you could do that same mentality with puzzle books, or no content, low content books, or young adult novels. It doesn't matter. No nonfiction. Just believe in yourself and think outside the box. And again, this is an end goal. If you're just starting out, you can still do this. But obviously you're probably not going to get enough traffic, because that's what the big issue is the traffic. Get enough traffic to come and become those repeat customers. But when you get those email lists and you start building that rapport with your customers, that's when you really you get all the information that Amazon doesn't share with you, and all these other people don't share with you, and you get 100% of the profits. I mean, he's creating a Word document, turning it into a PDF, and sharing that when someone makes a purchase, it would get emailed in their email, and he would send their PDF, the Word version, and the EPUB, maybe even the Mobi. But all of that was free. I mean, he created it one time. He had it in a funnel, so that way it would just, when the purchase was made, it would automatically be sent. I mean, he had it running amazing. And this man ran this day after day, and he earned a full-time income doing this off his website. So if anybody tells you that it's not possible, you just tell them that Keith Wheeler told you about a guy named Walter Wyburn who proved that it was. And Walter's just one example, but he was such a great man that it really drove home to me how it really can be done. And you didn't have to be some big named, huge budget behind you to push the Facebook ads or anything else. He really did it on his own website. Now, I hope those 10 myths helped you and that maybe cleared things up for you and gave you some inspiration. But don't let the learning stop here. You may not know this, but I actually have a YouTube channel and podcast with a buddy of mine, Nuria Corby. And we just got through launching a video where we talk about books that aren't selling. So why your books may not be selling. So if you'd like to check that out, it's right here. There's a link to the video. If not, YouTube says that this video right here is something you need to take a look at. Either way, I'll catch you inside one of these videos. And remember to write right.